It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. In this video, we're going to be taking a look and talking about a theory, a popular theory that's been floating around the internet about the HBO series adaptation of The Last of Us, particularly about a potential appearance by Abby herself in the season 1 finale. As fans eagerly await season 2 of The Last of Us, there's one question that's been on everyone's minds. Did the season 1 finale provide a hidden Easter egg or cameo of Abby, one of the main characters from The Last of Us Part 2? Before we get into it though, I should mention that there will be spoilers for both the first season of the show and both Part 1 and 2 of the games. So if you haven't watched or played them yet, you may want to click away now. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Let's actually step back a bit. To recap, in the final episode of Season 1, we see someone with braids escaping during the sequence where we see Joel going on a rampage and killing all of the soldiers that are in the hospital. Now, obviously, like I said, we see someone with braids on escaping, and the showrunners have deliberately put a shadow on the person, so you can't make out who they are. And many fans have speculated that this could be Abby. Now, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. It's obviously possible that this is nobody important and that this scene doesn't mean anything. And what fans are speculating to be braids could just be the strap of the backpack that the person is carrying. In fact, we don't even know if it's a female or male. And additionally, on top of that, this person looks like an adult. Whereas, obviously, if you've played the game, you know in the flashback at the hospital, Abby is quite young. Unless they have Abby be much older in the TV adaptation. But with that said, there's the flip side. The fact that this is the only person that we see at the hospital in this sequence with a shadow who we can't really see. And this definitely looks deliberate, like I said. The other thing, as we see here, Joel clearly sees the person run away. Why doesn't Joel just kill this person like he killed everyone else? Obviously, there's no reason behind it, like he might have just let him go, but story-wise, why would they have Joel let this person go? But with that said, there's another thing to keep in mind. There's been some speculations and rumors that Neil Druckmann, the creator of the game and one of the showrunners, said that this is not Abby, but I haven't seen that anywhere. I just read that on Twitter on one source, but I haven't been able to fully confirm that. Now, with those obvious things out of the way, let's look at some other clues that support this theory. They actually had a special event, a special show after the season finale where some of the cast members and showrunners were talking about the season. And these are the reveals that came out of that for season 2 of the show. Now, I will do a second video just talking about some of these things in more detail, but for the purposes of this video, let's just go through some of the stuff that applies to the discussion here. It's been confirmed that the second season of the show will cover the story of The Last of Us Part 2, but won't cover the whole game, meaning that there's room for the show to deviate from the game's story and potentially explore new plot lines, such as Abby's involvement earlier in the story at the hospital. Like, we might see things from her perspective. In fact, we might see weeks leading to this event, and we might actually see things play out from Abby's perspective, who we see potentially escaping here. Also, the showrunners confirmed that Season 2 will be different from the games. They mentioned that it will deviate from the games just like Season 1 deviated from the games in certain aspects. And if we kind of think about what that could be referring to, obviously that refers to expansion of character stories that we didn't really get an expansion on in the game, and also some cameos that we saw like Dina. Additionally, original storylines that never existed in the game, like Ellie's mother Anna, and the list goes on. So this could give them more leeway to make changes and potentially introduce new characters like Abby earlier on and focus a bit more on them. If you thought part 2 focused too much on Abby, you might want to prepare yourself for season 2 because we might get even more focus on characters like Abby. It's also teased that Abby and Ellie will have changing perspectives in the show, which could mean that the creators plan to delve into Abby's character in more depth, like I mentioned earlier. Another interesting thing is they talked about how the show will allow for more exploration of backstory for characters like Abby, her father Jerry, or other members of the Fireflies. And not just exploration into their backstory, but also explorations and diving into some of their motivations. This could make Abby's eventual appearance, like the one we see in the game, even more impactful and meaningful to the overall story. Of course, this is all just speculation at this point. I can't stress that enough. And it's possible that the showrunners could choose to ignore Abby's appearance altogether. I shouldn't say appearance, potential appearance is a better way to say it. Or they could use it as a simple Easter egg for fans to speculate about. It's also worth noting that they have not confirmed or denied the theory, as far as I know. Like I said earlier, there is one source that I've read saying that Neil Druckmann, the showrunner and the creator of the game, denied this theory, but I haven't been able to cross-validate with multiple sources and confirm that myself. Now, with all of that said, if that is in fact Abby, what does that mean? How could that change the plot? Because, believe it or not, this will change the plot in some way. It might not necessarily be a huge deviation. It could be depending on what they do with it, but there is definitely going to be some deviations to the plot just because of this appearance, if it ends up being something that they did on purpose. It's possible that Abby could actually use Ellie as bait to get to Joel. Obviously, if this is in fact Abby, there is a very good chance that she saw Joel, which means that the Joel and Abby interaction in part 2 can't happen the same way. So Abby might be forced to use Ellie to get to Joel. And obviously the question comes up, how does Abby know Ellie? Well, she was at the hospital. They knew that they were bringing this person in. She is the daughter of the doctor. I'm sure that she would have heard Ellie's name, or better yet, would have seen her. And you may be asking, why would she want to find Joel? Well, obviously, she sees Joel as responsible for her father's death. If you've played the games and you've been living under a rock or haven't played part 2, but then again, why would you be this far into this video if you haven't played part 2? But the doctor that Joel ended up killing in the season 1 finale, like the way he did at the end of The Last of Us Part 1, was actually Abby's father. So, just to recap a little bit, if this is Abby, this would mean Ellie and Abby's initial encounter will be substantially different than the game. And also as a result, Joel and Abby's encounter will be different. However, it's important to keep in mind that these theories are speculative and have not been confirmed by the showrunners. You may be asking, why do I keep saying that? You'll definitely get people in the comments saying, that's not Abby, what are you talking about? So that's why I have to say that, so that you know, I know this is a theory, I know it's speculative, so don't come at me in the comments. It's also possible that the show's creators are purposely keeping Abby's appearance subtle in order to create an Easter egg for fans of the game, but not really incorporate it into the story much further. This would be in keeping with the trend of TV shows and movies, including hidden references and nods. However, if this is the case, it's unclear why the show has not addressed the potential appearance of Abby. And it may be that the creators are waiting for the right moment to reveal her involvement in the story, or perhaps not wanting to confuse non-gamers, or just not wanting to spoil it for non-gamers. Overall, the potential appearance of Abby has sparked a lot of speculation and discussion among fans, and it will be interesting to see how the show's creators incorporate her into the series. Now, you may be asking, why do I have this picture? I just thought this was really funny. Obviously, the nurse who we see here is actress Laura Bailey, who voiced Abby. So obviously, when we're talking about Abby appearing or potentially appearing, she kind of did appear, but it wasn't really Abby, it was her voice actress. And it's funny because she's right next to the doctor that has died, who played her father in the game. I know it's a bit of a dark comedy, but whether they choose to use Abby's potential appearance as a way to bring in new storylines or simply leave her appearance as an Easter egg for fans to speculate about remains to be seen. But it's clear, at least to me, that the presence of Abby in the shadows, if it's officially confirmed, will add another layer of complexity to an already compelling and interesting story. That's all for today's video. I am definitely interested to know your thoughts and opinions though. What are your thoughts and opinions about this theory? Do you think Abby's appearance in the season 1 finale of The Last of Us is fact, or do you think fans are just going crazy with their theories? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.